I'm here with today Mr. Orel Zimmerman is here. He will be guiding us towards the how to get into the market, into the startup field, and how to get through the threshold that is needed to make a company successful or make an idea successful. You're welcome, Mr. Orel.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. This is my first it was very bad. I had bad equipment, commanders who just didn't care about what I do or how I do it, um, and just generally very, very bad environment for developing things and being creative. And I had to spend 3 years in the army, so it was quite hard ride for me. And that was the first point when I thought to myself that I need to do something about it. And that's when the itch, as I call it, started itching. Um, from the army, after I finished my 3 years, I started working for a startup, which was also gave me a bit experience. It started good, but over time, the company started losing money, and the founder started lying about the cash flows and stuff like that. Anyway, a very bad experience. Also, I had worked on another startup, which was hell. It was a lot of micromanagement, and it's just a bad experience after bad experience that led me to just quit the job and start the road of the solopreneurship. Um, in August last year, I started working on a Unity game, which I stopped in the middle because I just didn't feel the passion for it anymore. Then I started working on a website called Bookwiz, which is for book readers who want to have their books log managed easily and get easy recommendations for next reads, which was also stopped in the middle because my partner just decided that he doesn't want to continue working on it, so we stopped that. And then
Yeah.
during the development of sorry, go ahead.
No, no. I just had a question. Mr. Orel, you were working
Yeah.
on different like startup companies. They were all basically they were just starting up. So why you had a great career in the army, right? You were a software developer in the army. You had a great opportunity. You could have worked in Google, Microsoft, in those companies that provide that environment, good healthy environment, and they have their employees have more opportunities to get. They have more type of environment, supportive environment to grow of their own. Why don't you have gone over there? Plus in
So
Israel, plus in Israel, I have seen silicon development over there. So it is going to be a hub. Israel is going to be a hub. AMD, especially AMD, is going to construct a mega factory over there. You must have gone there.
yeah, so I think that the reason I didn't choose to go to any major company, besides not getting an interview, is that I really felt it inside me that I want to do something that will fulfill me and that will make me feel better about my days. And yeah, maybe a company would provide that, but I just didn't feel like going through the interviews process again, get into a company, maybe be in a team that I don't like or working on a project that I don't like, not being responsible for my own time. Um, that I just decided that I don't want it. I will just give it a go. I will start my journey as a solopreneur, and worst case, I can just find a job and get back to my old life if everything fails and I just choose to. So I could either um, take the jump and try it, or just go back to my old life and try again. So I decided that I have the time. I'm young. I have enough money that I saved. I don't have any big commitments like kids. So I just thought that it will be the right time to do it right now. And as I said, worst case, I can just find a new job, and yeah. So that's my reasoning.
Okay, why don't you tell about your startup? Why don't you tell about what you are doing right now?
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to give a little introduction, a little background. So right now I'm working on a website and an application called Pinky Partner, which is an app for people who want to build habits. But it's not the usual habits app. It's for it's an app that lets you build habits with a partner. So you have an accountability partner that works on the same habits as you do, and you follow up on each other through the app, through notifications that you get. So, for example, when I finish my habit for the day, then my partner gets a notification about this, which encourages him to get his habit to finish his habit also, and then it notifies me back. Um, so it started when, yeah, my idea came to me when I had a very bad time during my journey. I felt really depressed because I didn't have something to do, and I started looking for ideas. And it took me many weeks to come out of this depression. So during that time, I decided that I want to build new habits and see where it takes me. And I wanted to do it with someone. So I talked to a friend and we set up Google Docs. We wrote our contract there and what we're going to do. And we followed up on each other through WhatsApp, which slowly faded away because it has too much friction sending every time you finish something, sending it in WhatsApp and then getting message back and then having a conversation. It's a little too much, and then it slowly faded away and died. And I thought, why not create something to overcome that? So that's when I thought about having an application that just you communicate through notifications, and if you want to build a habit, you just notify each other through the app. So that's when I came up with the idea, and yeah, I'm working right now on marketing it.
Okay, okay. So like, is it like peer? It works on peer pressure, right? Like if you do
Yeah,
something, and if your partners does the same, and the partners do it more, then you have a peer pressure that I should do it again, right? Is it
yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, studies suggest that if you have an accountability partner, you have 95% chance to get the habit done and to build it.
Okay. Like I have a
Yeah.
question. If I have a habit of reading a book, let's say Rich Dad Poor Dad. See, if I read 10 pages a day, for example, I read ten pages of that book. So how will my phone that I have with me? It is a phone-based app, right? It
Yep.
is mobile app. So I
Yeah.
have that app with me. So how is it going to like? I should type in it that I have completed 10 pages, or what is it like? How does it
You
get
just
the
check
data?
it. It's just a check mark. You open the app, you check the habit, and that's it.
Okay, so that goes to the notification to the person, your
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah. Everything happens automatically. All you do is mark a checkbox, and that's it.
So okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that is okay. That is very nice. Like that is a new idea, novel idea that you have created. So,
Yeah.
like uh, some of the new technical developers, like how to build a great technical startup, being a non-tech or business tech guy. How is it possible? Like many of our uh, community members, for example, Ujjwal Pratap, he asked it like he belongs to a business side of his company, and he's from non-technical, and he wants to create a tech-based entrepreneurship. So
Mhm.
how is supposed to start? How did you start in the beginning?
So for me, I'm a tech person. I started. I had my degree and I worked in several companies, so it was easier for me to get started with the tech things. But as for people who are not technical, that I worked with, I also had another project that sort of failed, and I worked with a non-technical person. So the way to do it is either to find someone who's technical and work with him, or hire someone on Upwork or Fiverr. But that's a little bit risky because if you don't know, if you're not technical, then you cannot know for sure that the freelancer is going to be technical. So it's either finding a partner that is technical or going with no code solutions like Wix and stuff like that that allow you to build websites without being a developer or a tech person.
Okay, Mr. Zilberman, I'm pronouncing it right. Zilberman.
Hmm.
Okay. So, Mr. Zilberman, tell me more about your company. Like, how much time it is have you spent on this? What was your journey through, and how you're going to take it more further ahead?
So I spend a lot of time on it, but I feel like a lot of it is more finding the right things to do and not just rushing things and just trying to get as many things done as possible, because that's how I started. I started with just trying to cram as many things as possible and do whatever I can. Like I had a very active YouTube channel, posting on LinkedIn, writing articles, building a game, writing an app, traveling the world, and I tried to do so many things. Um, and the way I think to do it is just to find um, the very important, a small amount of very important things to do that will push your business forward. So, what I'm doing right now is learning about marketing and how to brand myself, brand my products, find customers, how to keep customers, how to talk to customers, um, what type of business model I should have for which for an app that I build. So learning all that data that is non-technical. So that's how I move
Okay.
forward with the business.
So, like, can I ask this question? Like, how is your like, what is your business model? How do you like earn money? Well, for me,
So
like, if I share something, is it from ads or what is it?
so right now I don't have any business model for Pinky Partner. Right now it's just gather as many users as I can, gain trust in the LinkedIn community, publish on Product Hunt, and then later, once I see that the product is valuable and that people use it daily or weekly, then I'll start thinking about a business model. Because right now, the way I think about it when I build something is if if I myself use it, then there are probably other people who will find value in it. So because I personally use Pinky Partner on almost a daily basis, then I know there are other people in the world that will find the same value that I find, or even more than that. Um, and on the other side, if I don't use it and I find it too hard or not valuable enough, then I assume nobody else will want it. So it's either I improve it or pivot or just drop it and go on to build another project. So yeah, because I use Pinky Partner a lot, and there are not many users right now that signed up, then I know that it's about the marketing. And once I'll get the users coming, then I'll build a business model and get revenue from it.
Oh, okay. Like, what about the user data? Like, you have some data of a user, like photographs or any of the name or age of the user. Do you ask those things in app, and how
No,
do you secure
no.
that data?
So no, I need only basic data like email and your name. Your name is just for the friendliness of the app to make it more welcoming and more personal, and the email is just for the sign up. So um, I don't require any specific data about the user.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, okay. When did you like? So, for example, uh, our community, one of our community members asked it. He have an idea. He has many ideas in it. Like we developed some ideas that this should be possible or this should be made. So you had an idea about Pinky Partner, and after that, how did you implemented it, and how did you get to like you are today?
Um, so because I'm a tech person, it's much easier for me to start. So once I got the idea, I started talking to people and I tried to verify the idea and see if that's something that people would want. And I have to admit, I did it quite badly when I tried to verify it in the first time. So once I got the fake assurance that people wanted, and I say fake assurance because the way I did it, I just went to people that are close to me and I asked them, "Hey, what do you think about the idea for Pinky Partner?" And obviously, all of them said, "Wow, that's cool. That's a good idea. Go for it." But the problem about it is that uh, people that are close to you are biased, and they'll tell you something um, to avoid hurting you. So they will not tell you that your idea is awful and that you should can be good, but right way to do it. Um, and tell me what they think about it. I made a few Zoom calls with people to see how they use the app and get feedback. I also integrated PostHog, which records user sessions, so later I can watch what people did in the website and on the app to know um, what exactly they used most and why and when did they leave, when did they start a new contract with a partner, etc. Um, and yeah, and from there I just improved slowly, and I'm still improving, and I'm still getting feedback, and yeah.
Okay. I have one of our community member Ronak. He had a question. Like similar apps are there in the market. For example, Muto is already there in the market, and considering that some companies in this field are facing losses and are not non-profitable. So how are you like going to motivate yourself? How are you motivated to go get through and make it profitable for your side?
So I don't really care about profitability at this moment for Pinky Partner because it doesn't cost me any money to run it. So it can just run it forever and I pay nothing for it. So right now, making it profitable is not a priority for me. So the priority, as I said, is getting more people, getting traction, getting people to know me and trust my product and trust me that I do good things. And later on, whether it will be with Pinky Partner or with my future products, I will be able to get more people faster, more feedback, and learn much faster. So that's my goal
Okay.
right now.
Okay, okay. So, Mr. Zivil, when you have also mentioned in your LinkedIn profile that you talk about entrepreneurship, tech, and personal development. Uh, like personal development, you had that site also. Why don't you try making an app on personal development?
To be honest, I don't have any good idea for that. Um, I mean, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of apps for building habits alone and making a to-do list and stuff like that. So
Yes,
it
yes,
became
yes.
quiet. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. So I, I just don't have any idea for personal development right now besides Pinky Partner. So that's why.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how what were like do you how do you differentiate your company with like so many companies are there like for one of the user has already mentioned it, so how do you differentiate with your product? So you have a product
Mhm.
like differentiation, same similar product with more features are there in the internet, so how do you differentiate yourself?
So the thing about having a product with multiple features, um, is that sometimes it's too much. That when you look for something very specific, you open the app, you get overwhelmed from the amount of features that it has, and you just don't want to use it because you need it for one specific thing. So what I do with my project is start with a very small and core feature, and just build on that specific feature. I do not add anything more. So for Pinky Partner, I will not add anything besides things that are related to this specific feature of building habits with a partner. Um, and the other and the another way that I try to make myself different from the competition is building a community that trusts me, is sharing my story, is building in public and telling people exactly what I do, how I feel, how I handle my most personal hardships, and that way I get people's uh, I don't
So
have a
you
word for
gain,
that, but
so you gain trust of people for that. Like you have a
exactly.
proper, like
Yeah,
you
I
are.
get.
So your company, I understood that your company, what is the it do is it connects to people, right? Like
Mhm.
what about other people? For example, it will be more good if we have a peer pressure among a community, not just like a one single person, your friend or someone. So,
Mhm.
is it there in your application, or like can you show some
So
light?
yeah, so I think that going to a place where I open it up to communities is again that same thing that I talked about before, that you just start building a lot of features on top of your core feature. Um, and that's not something that I want to do at this point. At this point, I'm trying to focus on one-on-one, so two people, maybe three, that build habits together. Maybe in the future, a community feature can be viable, but right now, I'm trying to focus as much as possible on that single core feature to make it as good as possible and get more people to use it.
Maybe in future you can create one for inside in communities also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we can, definitely we can make it through. Like we can have this feature in our community as well. Uh,
Yep.
so in the middle of the session, I invite all the community members that have joined. If they have any question, they can ask right now. Okay. Okay. So Uday Johan, he asked it. Do you market analyze before you enter this field? Have you analyzed it? What was your analysis on, like when you started to enter this field, like community connect field, and what was your analysis about it? Have you analyzed it?
So I suppose we're talking about Pinky Partner market, and I just looked around for apps because in the first when I first wanted to have that communication with my friend and build a habit with them, I tried to look for apps that will provide that, and I couldn't find anything that was very comfortable to use, and that provided that exact thing that I wanted. So I just built it because I had nothing better to do. I saw that there is no good app that provides that specific need that I want, and yeah,
Okay.
once I realized that there is no good competitors, I realized that I should just go for it.
Okay, maybe he wants to ask like how many, what is the market of the community connect peoples? For example, when we entered in the inside in, so the community market, people who wants to get into a community like LinkedIn is there, our greatest community. Then there is you say Facebook, then there is Reddit. So the community market is almost equivalent to the user who are using laptops or any smartphones that are present. So it is very large, and for like that community, he wants to ask about the market people who are in there.
What I didn't quite understand the question.
He asked it about the market, like
Mhm.
how much market is there, like how many people are eager
For
to get
for
into
for
this.
to get into LinkedIn, or what specifically are we talking about?
No, no, no. I asked it like what amount of people are already using your app, and what is like the you will start to market it, and after marketing, what are your
Mhm.
expectations that this much many people will come, and all
Oh,
over the world, how many people are eager to enter this type of field?
So there are a lot of people. I don't know the exact number of people that are. Uh, yeah. So it's called the total addressable market. That's what it's called, I think.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure about the exact number, but there are hundreds of thousands and millions of people who use to do apps and habits building apps on a daily basis. And from what I read from several researchers, most people fail in building their habits. So I think like 92% of the New Year's habits just fail after 2 weeks. So there are a lot of people who want to build new habits. So the total addressable market is pretty big. I just need to find a way to get into that market and get myself known and get the Pinky Partner to work and be the best and be the best that it can be with this single core feature. Yeah, and then I can break into that market and get more people to use it. And I believe there are a lot of people that will want to find a better way to build habits, and also stay connected with their friends.
Okay. So how are you going to like do this to make everyone know about Pinky Partner? And like how many people are still there in your are there in your app? Like how many people are using it happily?
Mhm. So right now, around 10 people are using it constantly. Some people go in and out occasionally, like I'd say 40 or 50 people. Um, and what was the first question? How do I plan to get more people?
Yes, yes, yes.
So right now I'm being as personal as I can. I try to talk to the people who use the app personally, send them messages, have Zoom calls, try to get feedback from them, try to have to build habits with them together. Um, and people that I know, I talk to people that I know. I talk to people on LinkedIn, send private messages, get to know them, and then see if Pinky Partner is something that can work for them. So yeah, right now the way I do it is I just get as personal as I can and try to get people to give me feedback about Pinky Partner.
Okay, so it is now on the basic stage that you go to the end user and ask the feedback, and according
Hmm.
to the feedback, you develop your product and market it accordingly, right?
Yep, yep. Right now that's the way I do it. It takes a lot of time, um, but I think it's very important for the base of the community.
Okay. Uh, One more question was there. Uh, how how will you proceed with the product after finishing up with all the product development? What was the initial stage?
So I think that right now I'm quite done with the core feature, and so I can answer it right now. What I plan to do right now, and as I said, it's marketing. It's just trying to break into this market and find more people to use it. So that's right now what I'm trying to do, and make it just a little bit better every time.
Okay, so your app, your application, is it available in the Play Store, Apple Store? Is
Yep.
it available? Okay,
So
so
Apple is quite annoying with this. So if you ever want to build an app with it's called PWA, so it's a progressive web app. So you build a website and then you convert it into an Android application, an iOS application, and it seems like Apple is really against that concept. So I tried like um, 10 times to upload the app to the App Store. Sorry, I read the
okay,
message. To the App Store, and then they just denied it because they said that the app does not have enough content to be an app on the App Store. So it's really hard to get into the App Store with the PWA. So I'm still trying, but
okay. So it is
it's on
a
the Play Store though.
okay. So what was the
Yeah.
like? Will you
So hello,
will you,
Surya. Actually,
Yes.
one of the doubt comes from my Ronak. Ronak, yeah, please open your mic and ask your doubt direct to Orel.
Okay.
Okay, so I have like two doubts regarding like I want the suggestions from you. Like as a student aspiring to start my own company, what key skills, experiences, or mindset should I focus on developing now? Any tips for gaining practical startup experience while still in school or college? This is my first
So
question.
first of all, that's great that you want to start as soon as possible. Um, yeah, so I would suggest you just to currently um, get better at writing code, and don't worry too much about building a business and trying to make something profitable. Just learn how to code, and build personal projects like hobbies, projects for your hobbies, and not something to market yet. So I'd start with that, and yeah, and if you want to start your business, get ready for some very hard times mentally,
Okay.
not technically. Yeah.
And my
Okay.
second question was, as the founder of startup, is it essential to have a comprehensive understanding of every domain within the company?
Sorry. Do I have every? Do I understand everything?
Comprehensive understanding of every domain within the company.
Yeah, definitely. So when you start, you'll realize very soon that you need to know everything in the beginning, and you need to learn everything in the beginning, because once you start delegating it to someone else, you want to be sure that they do a good job, and you'll know it after you know how to do a good job. So yeah, definitely.
And should I go for the last question? I have last question left. So
Yeah,
it
definitely.
was about the insecurity. Basically, I want to start a startup company, and so don't you feel insecure about the startup as
I yeah, I have a lot of insecurities about that. It's very hard to know that you're building something that first might not work, and second, you're wasting time and wasting money and months on building something that you don't know is going to work. So yeah, it's scary, and it sometimes hurts the motivation. And yeah, sometimes I think about maybe start getting a part-time job or going back to job to finding a job. So yeah, it's hard. It's very hard to deal with that. But I came prepared. I know that it's going to take a long time. It's not going to be one thing that I build and get to be a millionaire from that. So yeah, you need to prepare for a very long run.
so how do you prepare that for your like my mental state? Because I am not prepared for that. I have an insecurity that is like my major big insecurities in my life.
Hmm. So I think that mentally it's really hard to prepare for that. But one thing that I learned about myself is that if you want it for long enough, then you'll find a way to make it work. So I saved money. I wanted to do it since like 2020. For 3 years, I had that thing in my mind that I want to build something of my own, and I need to build a very strong financial base so I can work on it for as long as I need to make my business to lift my business off the ground and get good revenue from it that I can live off. So you'll need to prepare a good financial base, or and I've heard it from several other entrepreneurs. They just built something on the side while having a job, and they didn't leave the job until they had a project that generated money. So both options are good. It really depends on you.
Thank you for the advice. Thank you.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, Om Patel has asked this. how are you going to, like, for marketing you will of course need some money for that, for marketing your stuff. So how are you going to arrange those capitals? And marketing,
Mhm.
I from my experience, it is not cheap. It requires more than enough. Like when you think about the budget, you require more than it. So how are you going to arrange that capital?
So I don't plan on raising any capital. I have my own money, and right now for marketing, I do it myself. I contact people, I send messages, private messages, I write on LinkedIn, I comment to people on posts, and I just do it on my own right now. When I'll get to a point when I know exactly who are my target audience, that I can really target them with ads, then I'll take some of my capital and put it into learning how to build ads and market really good. Maybe even pay someone who's really a professional and learn from them.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so Surya Pratap Singh has asked this. What is the one quality or attitude in a person that can be useful, like that is important for an entrepreneur, that makes an entrepreneur successful? What do you think about it?
I don't think there's a one quality that makes a good entrepreneur. I know that maybe it's not the answer you were expecting for, but I saw different entrepreneurs that had different set of skills and different mindsets. Some people that I admire, some people that I don't, and people that succeed are people that know they're in for the long run and try again and again and again and again, and they just don't quit, even if that means that they'll have to stop. I know an entrepreneur who did that and he's now very successful. Even if they know they have to stop, get back to finding a job and keep doing things on the side, and then a few years later just quit their job again and give it another try. Um, yeah. So as long as you're in the game, um, I believe you'll make it. Yeah, and I'm also in the same boat as you. I'm learning it. And I'm getting the ropes of the entrepreneurship, and I just don't quit, and I will not quit.
Yeah, it is well said. That
Okay,
starting a company
sorry for
is,
interrupting.
yeah.
I have a one question, Orel. Like your journey is too inspiring, right? And what you discussed till now, I have a one question on it. Like when we start something new, so we face lot of challenges. Okay, so when you are starting your journey in a as a for a pinky partner, so what are the biggest challenges you faced, and how you overcome from them?
So the biggest challenges I faced right now is contacting people. You can call it sort of cold calls. So sending people messages, talking to them, making Zoom calls, coming up here on stage and talking to people. Um, so that's so that's the fears I have in the beginning. How will I market it? What if people don't like it? What if it doesn't work? So these are the challenges I think I had starting up.
Thank you, Oral, for answering my query. And
Mhm.
yeah, you are doing really well. And definitely, when I talk about the Pinky partner, it's a really good use case in the market, because when it comes to develop a new habit, it's a very hard to develop by a single person on their own space, because sometimes people are very lazy to build their new habits. So building new habits with someone is a better way, because uh, it's like a challenge that he's doing very well, right? And now it's my responsibility, now it's my turn to do, correct? So yeah, concept is very good, and I appreciate for it.
Thank you. And by the way, feel free, everybody, if you want, you can send me a contract and we can start building habits together.
Sure.
Yeah, anyone, feel free.
Yeah, it is very nice. You can I suggested to download and start it. You can
Yeah.
you can make your own habits, or you can one key thing that you can do is You can develop new habits just by trying on the Pinky app, partner app. You try it and you develop it with your friend or partner. That is going to
Yeah.
be beneficial for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was great. So please tell us more about you. We want to know about your experiences. What is the key learning that you had?
What is my experiences?
Yes, yes. Your experiences, like till now, what were your experiences in developing your app, and what is the key component that you have, and what is the key component that all the most of the entrepreneurs lag in their products?
So I'll talk about my general experience. You mean, right? Besides Pinky Partner?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
General as
Um,
well as technical part also, like how you decide the tech stack for your Pinky Partner app, and then how you move for that. Okay, so
yeah.
just
So
asking for them.
yeah. All right. Um, yeah. All right. So I see the message. Um, so I'll start with the technical things. I think it's a bit more important. Then I'll get to my experience. So the way I chose my tech stack is just something that I'm comfortable with and that I know will provide the things and the features that I want. So, for example, I wanted to build a website, and I also wanted it to be an app later. So that's why I chose Next, because someone wrote a library that takes Next up and transforms it into an app for both. Sorry, I'll say it again. So I chose Next because there is a library that someone wrote that makes it really easy to transform it into an application without having to do or having to write any code. So that's why I chose Next and React. And I'm also very familiar with these frameworks. So yeah, I felt comfortable with that, so I went with it. Also, Next allows you to have in one project both your front end and your back end, which is very comfortable. You publish both your server functions and your front end code in the same time. Um, so that's what I chose for Pinky Partner and why I chose it. Um, yeah, and for the database, I went with MongoDB just because it's free and it's really easy to set up.
So you
Yeah,
mean you wrote like front end back end parallelly?
yeah. So it's not parallelly, but you have like in the same project, you have a folder for your API. It's called API, and that's the back end of the app.
Right.
Um, Yeah, and the rest, you have your front end components, which can also be server components. That's a bit more complicated, but so basically, you have the API folder, which is your backend, and the rest is the front end.
So I have a follow up question on it. Like when we decide to build something, so how to decide the tech stack for those like requirements, like what we are building right now? So how to decide on it?
Yeah, so just pick something that you're comfortable with and stick with it. There's no other way. All the frameworks practically do the same. Some are better at one thing than the other, but our goal when we build a project is first to make sure that it's viable and that people want to use it. And we want to do it as fast as possible, so to not waste too much time on building something that's not going to work. So pick something that you're comfortable with, stick to it, learn it, build with it, and if in the future you find out that it's when you have enough people and you find out that this tech stack is not working for your needs, then you can put time to change it. But until then, just find something that you can write really fast with, you're comfortable, and go with it.
Great. So you mean where you are feeling comfortable and what tech stack makes you comfortable? Just choose them and make the stuffs.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever it is, everything works. Even if you want to have your tech stack as an Android developer or an iOS developer, um, if in the future if you have a product that people use and you get money from it and you want to expand it from iOS to Android or from Android to iOS as well, then you can learn something new because you know that you're spending your time well on learning a new tech that's going to take some time, but you want to expose it to more people.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
great.
you developed your app in like websites, right? And then you had a API that converts. You had a library that converts a website application to a mobile application, and then you have uploaded it into a web like app store, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
Right
okay.
now
So
it's only on the Play Store, but yeah, it's both Play Store and App Store, and also you can upload it to the Windows Store. I'm not sure what it's called, and
yeah,
also to the Meta Quest store.
yeah. Okay. So like, what was your like in while coding it? Most of the like people they tend to fall into errors. And what was your major like learning from developing this project? Like, what was your major key component that you had in your mind that this is going to be very difficult and I have to manage it cleverly?
So the main thing that I learned from this project is that first setting up, building a website and then converting it into an app is very straightforward and it's very easy, even though I thought it's going to be pretty difficult. But one thing that I found really difficult is working um, with internal phone components. So like um, sending an application, writing a worker that works in interval on the phone. So like every every 24 hours run some sort of run a function or something. Um, Making these things work through the website is difficult. It takes time, and initially I thought that these things were going to be the easiest, but I found out that they are not. So working with the phone is pretty difficult. It takes a lot of time to learn how to do it. So, for example, it took me over a week just to figure out how to send notifications between phones.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have a suggestion. If you start building your product, one thing that really made it much easier and faster for me to build new products um, and have that motivation to do it is writing a boilerplate code, writing a template. So having the template, your authentication process, sort of a small landing page, a navigation system, DB connection, database connection, everything that's really annoying to write and you need to write it over and over again. Just have a small template for that and just copy it and start a new project on that.
Template where you keep everything ready. So whenever you need to copy a code, basically you go over there and you copy that link so that, for example, I want to access my database. That from that template, I can take a reference and I can have a like a connection between my database and my application front end.
So it's more than that. More than that. You copy. So for example, if you want to start a new project, you just copy that template and you put in the environment file. You put your keys, and that's it. Everything should work out of the box. The um, database connection, the authentication. So like you have an app that's running with all the basic things, just without your core feature.
Okay, so like you have, uh, like, can you explain it more?
Yeah. So for everybody here, feel free. I'll write my email here, and feel free to send me an email, and I'll send you back um, a URL, my GitHub repository for my template. Um, so I'll explain it better. That template is just a project. It's just um, imagine that you have a Pinky Partner without the core feature. So if I take out the contract creating and the promises out of the application, then that's the template. All the basic infrastructure things are there in the template. All you need to do if you want to create another project is just change the keys in the environment file, and um, everything works. Um, the authentication, creating a new user, sign up, sign in, navigation, and everything else.
Okay, that is
Is it clear enough?
thoughtful. Yeah, I understood it. Okay, that would be thoughtful if most of the people who are trying to develop something, it will be very helpful for them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I have something really good for a PWA, a progressive web app. If you want to build a website and transform it into an application, as I said, send me an email and feel free to send me questions about it as well. I'll share with you the repository.
Okay. Yeah, it was. It is very. I feel very respected by talking to you. It is a very nice talk with you. So, like, if anyone else want to ask some questions, they are free to ask. They can turn on their mic and ask. Okay, then.
I saw how and where to find unique or creative ideas for a startup by Pranay Jain. I hope I spelled it correctly. Um, so the best way to find a good solution, good products, I found is to um, change your mindset into solving problems. So you do a lot of things during the day, and you'll find many things that are annoying, or some thoughts that might cross your mind is, why isn't there a solution for that? Why does it work that way? Why is it so slow? Why is it so annoying to use? And you'll figure out that you see so many things that you think these thoughts about. Um, so just be open-minded to solving problems, to finding things that can be solved, and find problems in your life that you want to solve, things that take too much time to do and you can automate it. Solve your own problems.
Okay. So I have a question. Like, how do you know that your product or the service is product market fit? Like your product or service is market fit.
So I'm not sure how to know that yet because I didn't have a product that had a product market fit yet. But as I said, my rule of thumb is if I use it and I find it useful, then there are almost 100% more people that will find it useful and that will want to use it, just as I do, or even more. So that's the rule of thumb I currently follow.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So I have a last question. It will be useful for everyone. Like, what key insights or strategies would you recommend to someone considering starting a tech startup on their own?
So what? Sorry, what did you ask? What should I recommend to someone who wants to start
What
their
key insight or strategies would you recommend to someone considering starting a tech startup on their own?
Mm-hmm. Just be prepared to you'll think that your idea is good and that people will want it and that it's going to be great, but be prepared that to the to the real just be prepared to the fact that it might not be as good as you think, and that you might think it's going to blow up really fast, but it's going to take a lot of time. So prepare for having some hard times with it and building up a user base quite slowly.
You mean you need to redefine your concept with the time, and also depend on the user response. What user response comes on your app or on your concept, right? And you should to
Yeah,
again redefine your concept and try to align with your user needs.
yeah, yeah. So in different words, it's just as you said, change your concept about time and know that it's going to take a long time. Probably you might hit it with your first project really fast, but most likely than not, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, you are right. I think the same thing said by Steve Jobs also. Like you should to redefine your concept again, and then you will reach there. So that time of idea will totally different from your where you started.
Yep, love it.
Okay. Mr. Zibulman, do you have any like team that is working on your product? Do you have some like sort of friends with you, or what is it?
No,
Okay, so
I'm one man operation. Yeah, I work alone right now. Yeah.
okay, that is
I
great.
saw
Like,
that someone asked. Sorry, I think it's the same guy that asked before about if you're not technical, how do you build up a product? He asked how to manage the technical team being non-technical guy. So yeah, that's challenging. That's what I said. It's really challenging and to know that your technical freelancer is doing a good job. Um, so if you hire someone that has good ratings, and you just need to hope for the best, basically, or maybe, as I said, get a technical partner um, who can check who can check that, or just write the code themselves.
yes. One more
Mhm.
doubt I had. How like there is a question. How would you pitch your product idea in a more efficient way?
How would I imagine a perfect idea? That's a good question. A perfect idea
Like you have
would
to
solve.
yeah, you have to give it to someone eventually. You have to show it to someone eventually.
Yeah.
So you have an idea that is perfect within yourself, and you have to pitch it so that it is makes sense to the other person. How would you do that?
Oh, how would I market it? Like, how would I sell it? So
Not exactly like marketing is like I would go to the market and make them feel that the importance of my product, and eventually they will end up using my product. That is marketing. But you have an idea that is perfect within yourself, and in some point, in some time, you have to like give it to somebody else, like maybe your team, your partner, or someone that you want to add in. So how would you pitch your product at that time? What is like key features? What is going to be like what is the main idea behind it? Like a perfect idea you have, and you have to pitch that.
how would I do that?
What are the key components in that?
Should I help you framing it if you don't get at the question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, basically, he's asking ki if you have an idea of the product, you want to pitch it. Basically, there are two substantial audience. One is the investor, and other ones are the users. So, how do you pitch your idea of the product towards a investor and a user? So,
so
two types of
yeah.
pitching in front of
Uh-huh.
investor and marketing in front of users.
So I will not pitch my ideas to investors because I currently don't see any value in having investors because I don't want to share my products and my time and the things that I want to do with someone who will make me do things. So I'm currently good with not having an investor. So I don't have an answer for that. But to friends, um, in the beginning, I will try not to pitch it. I will try first to. So I read a book called the Mom Test, and there he talks about why you should not pitch your idea to your friends, because you want to know if they want to use it. And if you pitch it to them, then you just tell them why they should use it. Um, Sorry, you tell them why they should use it, and you want to know if they want and they need to use it. You don't want to force it on them, because if you force your product on them, they will use it once and twice and maybe they'll leave. And what you want to find is your ideal customer that will use it over and over. So yeah, I know we're out of time. I'll just finish with it. Um, so you want to find your ideal your ideal customer and user. So I would avoid pitching my product to friends and users that I want them that I want them to use my application. I will just um, have a conversation with them and see and figure out whether it's the right product for them or not. And if it is the right product for them, I'll suggest it to them. If not, then no. I hope it
Basically, the
was
organic marketing,
clear.
right? Yep. Yeah. I had one question. Should I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a question that if I have an idea, like before in 2020, I had an idea to open a YouTube channel and animate things to tell stories about our Hindu religion. But the idea was taken away in 2021. I missed the opportunity. So, what do you think that if someone has an idea, but some organization does it before they does, like I make it before someone does. So, getting into the competitive field where some of the companies have upper hand in starting first, and you are the like second or third company which you are starting with. So how do you figure out in that field ki you should enter or you should wait for a right opportunity or you should try some other domains rather than that idea?
Yeah, so I like this question because this is a misconception that I had for a very long time, that I tried to get into a market that's pretty big, and there are a lot of competitors and people that try to be the best and build things and be different than others. But the thing is that it doesn't matter how many companies out there, unless it's an incredibly crowded market like writing a to-do app. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of apps like that, and it's just it's a very long shot. But on the other, so the misconception is that the if people are doing it right now, then you have no business in doing it yourself as well. But you're not looking to get all the market and all the people to use your product. I assume that's what not what I try to do. I try to get a small amount of people, a very good user base, and it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be in the tens of thousands. I just try to find a small user base, a loyal user base that is willing to pay for my product, and you can find it. No matter what you do, if you try hard enough and long enough, you will find um, that small group of users that will use your app. So the fact that there are companies that have a lot of people and a lot of resources and a lot of users doesn't mean that you can take a very small share of that pie. So you're not competing them for their huge piece of the pie. You're just looking to get small bite of it. So and that small bite is enough to generate good revenue. So it doesn't matter how big the competitors are. You're not looking to compete with them directly.
Okay, thank you.
I hope it's clear. If
Yep, it's clear.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyone else have any doubts?
And
Okay.
last question
I think.
about a live advice. If you are put into a situation where you have two options, one is your passion, that is your startup, and second is your life, which you are currently living, which is most like overwhelming situations where you are getting everything in your life. So, what would you choose between your passion and your overwhelming life? What would you choose?
What do you mean about building life?
successful life, but you have a side hustle which is like the passionate thing, passion thing. So what would you choose between them? It's like you are living, you have left that
Yeah.
life behind. So I'm asking you a question because you have left that life behind and you have started your startup from for by your passion, right?
Yeah. Um, that's a tough question. I'd say go with what makes you feel good. So there is no right way or right choice to make here. Um, just go with whatever makes you feel good, and you learn. It's not like a very uh, how do you say? It's not like a choice that you take that um, uh, like a life or death choice. You understand? So you can choose to follow your passion for some time, and then if it doesn't work or you don't like it, you can always go back to your previous life, I assume. So if that's your passion, take that leap of faith and go for it, and see how it works for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Sure. You're welcome. Thank you for the questions.
Yeah, I think most of our doubts have been cleared. Uh, do anyone else? Okay, so we can.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to don't be afraid to be wrong. Don't be afraid to stop working on something and just moving on to the next thing. And on the other hand, you also need to stick to what you do. So um, from one side, it's feel okay with quitting, and on the other end is like you need to be able to keep grinding on a specific thing, even though it's going to be hard and you're going to feel like you don't want to do it anymore. It's not fulfilling you anymore. Sometimes you just need to get over these hurdles and keep developing and keep working, keep grinding towards our goal. Yep.
One of the concluding questions, should I ask the last one? Sorry for the interruptions, by the way.
Yeah, you can ask.
Yeah. Feel free. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. So one of the most famous questions, that is, what is one of your best advice you will give yourself as in you are in your younger ages? One of the
Hmm.
best advice.
That's a really good question, and I didn't think about it. Um, I'd say to trust my guts more. Just go with what I feel, because when I first started building a side project, I worked with someone who wasn't really as passionate as I was, and I tried to give him more and more opportunities. And I knew that I should stop wasting time. It was some sort of tool for the phone for a salesperson, salespeople. And I knew that I should stop, but I wasted 3 years of that project that went for nothing in the end. So I would tell myself to listen to my gut and care less about what other people think. Okay, that's even more important. Care less about what other people think, because that stopped me from doing so many things in my life. thinking what others will think about it, if I'm good enough, if people will praise me for that. Careless about these things. Just go with what you feel, and do it.
One of
Thank
the
you for the
most
question. It was
beautiful
a good.
suggestions, by the way. One of the most
Correct.
Thank you.
beautiful
You
advices.
are
Thank
right.
you.
What you said, like in the initial time, you face lot of resistance to start, and the one of the factor is like lot of fear, like what other people think, what my relatives thinks on it, what I'm doing is right or wrong. That there's a lot of misconception in her head, and I think when we get all the answer, first we should just start.
Yeah. So not even strangers, what other strangers will think, even your parents, your family, your spouse, or whoever it is. These thoughts might also make stop you from doing things because you'll think you're not good enough for them, or they might be upset with you. I had a few experiences with my own father about these things that stopped me from doing other things. So just be true to yourself, and do whatever feels right for you, because nobody else needs to live with you 24 hours every day of the week. So be good to
Yeah,
yourself, and
right.
So
did
once
you ask
again,
me
I would like
questions
to
or?
thank you. By the way, I would like to thank you for your
Okay.
advices. I have wonderful day, and the advices were incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the questions. They were really good. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so we are think that we are at the last of this meeting. So if I invite everyone, if they have anything else, they can present it to now, or we can leave.
I think nobody. We should
Okay.
end now. Uh,
Well, thank you for your time, everybody. It means a lot to me.
Once
As I
again,
said,
Odin,
it's my
thanks.
first time, and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, okay. Guys, hope you like this session.
Thank you.
And one more thing, we would also promote your product Pinky Partner in our community so that you can take advantage of it.
I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
we in the inside in we think that community members that they must get something really good and insightful. We think your product is very needed for our community. We will try to like communicate with them and make use of your product very successfully.